Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. Right, I'm just gonna go ahead and turn down my sound here. All right, let's get Death World loaded up here. Just gonna check some settings first. Okay, here we go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. We're gonna go ahead and roll into Death World here. Yeah, I'll bite you. And this is gonna be the live stream episode number 24, and it's Operation Recovery. All right. Now, there was a lot of technical difficulties with this live stream, and for the first hour, I admit I didn't have my microphone set properly, so I'm actually doing a voiceover of the video footage for the first hour, and I'm gonna break it into part 1 and part 2. So this will be part 1 of Operation Recovery. All right. Let me just briefly explain. What I did was we went. I went and played off camera for about 2 or 3 hours, and the biter situation obviously just got worse and worse and worse, and we totally pretty much ran out of steel. So I let it sit a few days of pondering what I was gonna do, and I decided that we were going to fall back on our previous save of Death World, and I wanted to go earlier than episode 12, but I started slowly deleting the save files, because I do save at the end of each episode, other than the autosave, and I only have it set for 5 autosaves to save. And then after obviously after the 5th one, it just starts overwriting itself. So episode 12 is the farthest I kind of want back. So we do start in this limited base here, but hopefully this gives us a opportunity to change a bunch of stuff of the base. Right. So here I am just looking at. I was explaining that the placement of the ammo array I'm going to change. We're going to put it closer to the iron outpost to the west, and we're also going to set up some steel arrays out there as well. Okay. I think I'm just doing my final checks here to make sure everything was good with the stream. So yeah, we'll also have to capture the oil fields to the east as well. As you can see, we'll go ahead and tackle all that, and extend the electronic circuits as well. I believe I set up a total of 4 of them. I think I get 2 online, and eventually I blueprint the other 2, but we'll get that up and running as well. I forgot to put the 5th iron column on the right side there, off the landfill the water there a little bit to build a 5th iron column. I don't think I get to that. Even the next episode I've already recorded, I don't get to that either. But anyway, the biters do start encroaching on this episode, so we are in a rush against time, but we do get to a stable point where I am satisfied with the series again. I was on the verge of ending the series and calling it quits and moving on, but we'll see. We'll see. I do decide in the long run to keep going with the series, and I am happy with the outcome that we do end up with. So here I think I'm just waiting on a couple of people to join. the stream. Well, not join the game, but join the stream. Let's see here. All right. Oh, I'm busy explaining. Okay, I remember what I was doing here. I was explaining to you guys what was happening, what my future plans with the series was. Were we gonna, give this a shot? In which obviously I do give it a shot. And I was gonna make up a decision at the end of the live stream if I was gonna continue or was I gonna call it. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up moving north here. We're going to end up taking this steel column down eventually once I get the new steel columns up and running. I did manage to blueprint all the important areas of the way the base was before we set back here. So that was a good move on my part. I believe I did this steel column. I believe I did all the science and the iron outpost to the west. I blueprinted. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where it lines up to. We're going to go ahead and set up this iron column, and notice that in this save I didn't get to that point yet, and we're going to need all the iron we can get, so we're just going to go ahead and proceed with setting this up. It's really important that we get all the iron we possibly can. So and this is when I also noticed that even my tool belt's not even done yet. So I believe we go check up on science after this. Okay, just double check to make sure all the inserters are placed. And I'm gonna do the little trick here to condense the belt better. Should have done it to the other two as well, but it's okay. I'll go back and fix that next time I am on this nap. Okay, yeah, see here I was gonna check up on science. Notice that the inserters were not being fed properly. Oh, they ran out. So we went and filled that up. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and extend the electronic circuits. To 2 deep. And we took a look at the iron outpost. And this is when I was explaining that I went ahead and took a blueprint of that as well. So we're just going to go ahead and set up this electronic circuit array here. Get all these inserters in. It's hard to believe that I was talking up a storm while I was doing all this, and the mic wasn't set up properly. The whole thing was, like I mentioned, I bought a webcam over the holiday break, and I just forgot that it came with a mic too, so OBS needed to know which mic was the fault. Oh. Learn from your mistakes, right? So we place these lights here. I believe I don't have any assembly machines on me. I think I have to go to the minibus and pick them up. So I was placing as what I could place. And I think here's when I decided to go back. Oh, I do have 2 assembly machines on me. Okay. So at least I place the green circuit ones. The coal up there. Oh, I was talking about the new steel arrays and how we were going to use that coal and the iron from the iron outpost 1 to make steel. So we make sure we don't run out. I also noticed that iron is low here, so I go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and place some iron miners here for iron smelting. Yeah, that's what I go ahead and do here. Place these 3, and I realized that I need supplies, so I run back to the minibus. Yeah. And I believe I checked science as well too. Yep. I wish I knew a little bit sooner that I needed copper for red science. It's okay though. And then that's when it happens. I realize I don't even have transport belts being assembled. So then I have to go ahead and set that up. Okay, so we'll go ahead and set up the transport belts and the iron gears, and then power poles. Okay, and I limit the stack to 2. But see, I still need transport belts for green science, and I still need copper for red science. Okay, and I think here is when I go ahead and make a bunch of transport belts by hand to feed science. around this part is when I noticed I have a lot of stone in my inventory as well. So I place a box down and I put stone down. Oh, this is when I realized I don't have any blue inserters. And it really gets me going, and I really start getting concerned about my tool belt and how long it's taken to complete that. Alright, I noticed that I don't even have most of my inserters even still being assembled, including the assembly machines themselves, so I go ahead and set that as production up here on the minibus. Right, we have regular assembly machines and assembly machines too. Okay, we go ahead and give the assembly machine 2s a blue inserter for green circuits and iron gears. Long-headed inserters for iron plates. Make sure the stack is limited to 1. Okay. And we'll give it some time to make some of the assembly machines. I think I handcraft some just to get green circuits flowing here. Yeah. In the meantime, I go ahead and place all of the inserters needed. I put those inserters backwards. Yep. Okay. Just making sure I did fix that. Okay, so that's out and that's in. Again, that's in and that's out. Okay. And then I did forget, oh, those 2 inserters there I forgot for the copper. But I do notice that later on down the line, and I do fix that. So I set those 2 far end ones out just to get some copper flowing in the time being. Okay, get rid of those underground belts and those belts because we don't need them. And then we set up the iron and the green circuits out. Okay. Just double check to make sure everything is good. And then I believe I head over to smelting. No, I don't. I had one of these trips I go and check power. I realize that power is a little low. I don't know if it's now or no, I have not noticed power yet. Ammo production? Yes. Okay, so this is when I go ahead and set up the ammo production for piercing rounds. And then after this I set up production for gun turrets over by green circuits. Alright. Right, so we have piercing rounds and we have regular magazines here. At first I decided to put copper in a wooden chest here, but later on down the line I do extend the copper bus across and under their iron to feed the piercing rounds properly. And this piercing round regular ammo stays up for most of this actually the whole stream, because I don't have the whole ammo array up and running yet. Even to this point, I still don't have the whole thing running. I think I set up the beginning part of it, but I didn't get that far yet. Anyway, this is when I checked science again. Tool belt still not complete, and this is when I noticed that red science ran out of copper. So we feed copper in there. We check green science. Go pick up some more assembly machines. Oh yeah, I grunted because my tool belt wasn't done yet. Still. Sometimes wish I remembered what I said throughout all this, but it's okay. It's alright. We're fixing it. We are fixing it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and set up the gun turret production here. Trying to remember how I set it up because I didn't blueprint it. I mean, I can always go back to one of the newer saves, but thank goodness I didn't delete all my saves, because I wouldn't have been able to do this then. Okay, yeah, so the right side's going to be iron gears, and the left's going to be the gun turrets themselves. So we need copper, iron plates, and iron gears for the gun turret. The reason why I put it here is because it's got enough decent space and all the necessary items are here. So I think I realized that one long-headed inserter for iron gears is not enough, so I think I do increase that to 2. So here we go, placing the chests. We're going to limit it, I believe, to 2 stacks. Yep. Make 2 stacks, and then we're going to power this all up. Okay. Yeah, this is when I realized that 1 is not going to be enough, so we set it to 2 long-headed inserters. Right, that's good. So we go off and we going to finish the green circuits here. Copper cable, so the green electric circuits. And here we are, still waiting on that tool belt. Right, I still have not noticed those 2 inserters. But I do come back a little later on and I do notice and I do fix that. Okay, I think I do one more check on science before we head out. Science look good, okay. I was talking about the smelting arrays and how I decided at that point that I was not going to put the 5th iron smelter in. I was just going to leave it at 4 because I wanted to go ahead and do steel smelting over by iron outpost 1. Okay, this is when I decide to place down the blueprint. to see where a lot of the iron mining goes. I was trying to find my reference point, but one of my reference points is the 4-to-4 splitter on iron, and again all the way on the east, the 3 steam engines on the power, steam power. So yeah, go ahead and just line this up here. And any second I place the blueprint down. There we go. I found the sweet spot for that. There we go. So go ahead and place that down. All right. And I was talking about the blueprint book here, how I could save inventory space by placing my blueprints in the book. So I start doing that. So here I can go ahead and start placing more of the miners down for the iron mining. So we'll go ahead and place these iron mines down. In this one I decide to jump up 1 notch. So I have to have the belt drop down to 1 before it goes across. Yep. Okay. And then we don't have the medium power poles yet, so we have to use the small guys for the time being to power everything up. And here I believe I decide to put it right in the middle. Yep, right there. And then the blueprint still shows the medium power poles, which I still have to do, by the way. Okay. See, okay, I never connected that iron there. I don't know if I went back and did that. But this is when I also noticed power too. So I'm going to go ahead and extend the power array to 1 more column. And I decided that I was going to take a peek up here to make sure the biters didn't creep in yet. And they haven't. So here we're going to make sure this area is not captured by the biters, because the oil field is right there to the right under the trees. And that was a very crucial mistake that I made by not capturing that oil field early in the game. This is when I start getting frustrated that the minibus wasn't fully up yet, because I just had to handcraft pretty much everything. Well, not everything, but a lot of the stuff. Okay. We'll just go ahead and place down this power. Feed the coal in. Make 2 more steam engines. Okay. I do come back and make another line of the steam engines, because I noticed that I realized that when setting up this steel arrays that it still wasn't going to be enough power. I was explaining how I had to go ahead and capture all this land early because we let the biters creep in too close last time. So the plan is we're going to go ahead and create the ammo array all the way to the west, and we're going to split the production, one north, one south. The north is going to head to the south wall. The north is going to head to the north wall, and the south, of course, is going to head to the south wall. And yeah, we're going to use a lot of iron, but we have to for the time being until I can get lasers online, and lasers is going to lead into having to increase power, and hopefully we can get nuclear power eventually online for this base. But we'll see. Okay. Alright. So, okay, this is when I noticed that I didn't hook up the iron smelting here. That's okay. I'll go ahead and place some lights so we can see. More better off YouTube can see. Alright. Notice that whole right side of the belt is not moving fast enough. I guess I'll have to go ahead and look at that. Go ahead and jot that down on my notes really quick. Okay. Trying to see if I can fix the iron here to make it flow better. But I think I got sidetracked with something else. Yeah, iron was a little short there. That's when I go down south and realize that the other iron mine needed more. At first I wanted to figure out what all these belts were, but the bottom belt was all coal, and here the new part of the bus here is 2 steel, a line of stone, and then that one to the right there before the steel column is coal. And then eventually we're going to have to get coal in the bus because of military science. But I'll dedicate another episode in the future on red, green, and military science. Getting it all back up and running. And speaking of science, the tool belt is finally going to be finished in just a moment here. I was finally realizing that the iron feed had to be in the middle for the minibus. And I believe this is when I also realized that it was time to properly fix the minibus to what it's supposed to be. Okay, and that tool belt is going to pop up just a moment here. Yeah, it's just when I realized that the iron down south here had to be fully mined as well. So we're going to go ahead and set up some miners down here. Okay, this is when the tool belt. I was in the middle of doing this when the tool belt popped. I don't know why it drives people crazy that I do 2 and I skip 1 and I do another 2, which I guess we all have our preference in how we set up our miners. Okay, so we set the bottom up here, and then again I'm gonna skip a space here and have it all go up first, and then head east. Okay, I think I do put some lights down too so we can see, and then it needs some the gun turret's down south here. Okay. Before the stone production here gets obliterated by the biters, or bitten and destroyed by the biters. I was contemplating if I wanted to set up the stone smelting here, not smelting, mining here. The biters sidetracked me. What was I doing? I think I might have been talking to you guys, but I don't remember. I don't remember what I was saying. But anyway, we're in the process of recovering the base. Just gonna reiterate what my plans are. We are saving the series from being totally annihilated by the biters. I tell you, those blue biters. Oh man, on the Death Horde settings, I don't even want to imagine what the green biters are like. Oh my goodness, I better have my power armor by then. I tell you. Okay, well, watching my recording here, I noticed that the biters were attacking from the east. And I don't think I realized that. I decided that I'm going to keep this for now. I'm not sure why, but because I end up just tearing it down when I come back here, because it does get attacked, and I had to put down more turrets. And this is when I also noticed I still had my iron axe, and that I had to use it. You know, I don't like to just discard it. I like to use up the iron axe before I make the steel pickaxe. So okay, I'm gonna gather up some more materials, and the tool belt is still not done. We still have to feed the science. I just noticed that copper is low too. I don't know, I'm not sure if I fixed that here or not. Yes, I do. Okay. To go over here and pick up some copper. I don't know, do I bring it back to science? Yes, I do. Okay. So I'm going to feed some copper, and I believe I put a stack of iron plates into, not plates, iron gears. What caught my eye is why I wasn't realizing why there was double inserters there. It was part of the blueprint. I think I messed up when I placed the blueprint, but it's okay though. It's all gonna work out. All right, so 2 belt is finally done, and we change our signs to bullet shooting speed 1. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and extend the copper belt up as well here. I have to come back and fix this, because I want one to be on the left side and I want the top one to be on the right where it is. So the top one's okay. Sort of okay. Needs to be moved over by 1 space. And then the bottom one needs to be moved over by 2 spaces, I think. Here I am just setting up my tool belt. Well, some of it at least to my liking. My inventory can spread out a little bit here. Okay. I think this is when I also noticed that I don't need all this stone ore on me. So I think I do place that down here, coming up. Trying to figure out what I have that one spot for. I think I need to go check one of my other bases and take a look. Nope, they're still carrying that stone ore on me. Decided to take a little stroll and see where the biters are, and they base popped up there. Just to the north of Science. It's okay. We'll get this all rectified over the next couple episodes and get the wall up and running. Okay, this is when I decide to start gearing up for Iron Outpost 1 to the west. I'm going to need more materials, so I go collect some more. I'm going to check Science again and make sure that Science is all good, because I was going to walk away from the base for a little bit. And I think this is when I noticed that this one assembly machine isn't running, because it doesn't have copper being fed to it. That iron gear chest there was supposed to have copper in it as well. So then I have to run back and get more copper. Well, that's the fun of the game, right? Always trying to figure out ratios and always picking up supplies and always trying to fix one thing or another. This is when I finally decide, okay, it's time, enough is enough with this stone ore. I'm gonna box that up. And I cover more of the Death World blueprints that I have. I show some of that off. Yes. Yep, there's Iron Outpost 1. Yeah, I was talking about the medium and big power poles. We would need energy distribution 1 for that. And then we're also going to have to research advanced material processing as well for steel furnaces. I believe we're gonna start heading west to take out that biter base over by Iron Outpost 1. Just checking up on science one more time. Red science packs and the green science packs. Alright, decide to defend power a little better, because it's been getting attacked here and there a little bit at a time. So we should get that defended a little better when I do. Okay, this is when I decide, alright, it's time to head west. After one more check of my supplies here. Okay. I don't know if I go this at this moment. I noticed that my ammo is a little low. No, I do. I do head west. Okay. This area just got attacked a little bit, so I think I do set up some turrets down here. Oh, I just placed one. Okay. Yeah, because in mind I wanted to go west, take out that biter base, and I needed ammo to be able to do that. Yeah. Okay. And of course, it's always dark when we're wanting to turret creep, right? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start our turret creep here on this base. Alright, it's not so bad. I mean, I think I do have a little hiccup here in the process, but it's nothing I can't handle. Yeah. And then notice, oh, I have plenty of room here. I thought I was right by the okay. I tell you, those red biters though start popping up. There we go. I mean, they're not as strong as the blue biter, but the way my military is right now, it's still a little primitive. So those red biters do creep in. It takes a little bit of effort to chop them down. Okay, I think I just go ahead and decide to run in here just a little bit and just grenade everything. Because I bought a little less ammo than I wanted to. So I decide to this turret here on the right runs out. I don't know if I fill it up or not. Yes, I do. Okay, I put basic ammo in there, but that basic ammo takes longer to kill those red biters. Okay. Yeah, see that you can hear the gaps between the bullets. The shooting speed is like basic. Yeah, this is when I decided to run in and just take the base out with my grenades. Yep. Starting with the worm. Get it, get it, get it, get it. I think a red... No, I was going to say I think a red biter pops up there, but we were okay. Right, so just repair that turret, and then we'll pick these turrets up. Oh, I decided to chop down the trees, or as I say, trim the trees with the grenades for the iron outpost. We set this up, but I don't fire the outpost up until I get my steel arrays up, which is not until episode 25. So, but in the meantime, it's okay. We go ahead and we start setting it up. I realized a little later on, that it should have all been dropped down just by one, but it's okay. It works. All right, so we're just gonna destroy these trees. I like how even destroying the trees with the grenades, it doesn't kill the blueprint underneath. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and set up a little mini wall here. I don't have stone walls yet, so I can't put the walls in. But the idea is that this is going to be very temporary. I'm going to expand north faster than I did last time over here. This is where I'm going to start the wall. So, the main wall, that is. And again, I have not started that yet at this current time. But leading into the next episode or two, we'll get this wall started. So I decided that I'm just going to put any ammo I decide at that moment to put in. I do put the piercing rounds in the front and some in the back, but I do mix it up. I chop some of the trees down to add some more in, but again, I'm running low on ammo here, so I had to watch what I was doing with that. Alright, shooting speed 1 is done. I believe I do electric energy distribution. I do talk about that the bullet damage was important too, so actually I do make up my mind and do the bullet damage. Okay, one more tree with one more turret. So I place the blueprint down, and I believe I start throwing some miners down as well too. No, I don't. I decide to go get belts. Okay, interesting. And on the way there, I decide, okay, it's time to clear some trees. But then, I don't know what made me decide to do this, because I'm not bringing the iron back to the base. I'm going to smelt it out there. The only thing that's coming back to base is steel. Okay. This side it's a little dark in the corner, so I put some lights in. I just put the lights in as whenever sees fit, right? Yep. Right, so we gotta go check science. I think science is a little low, so we go tap that off. No, it looks good, okay. We do pick up the assembly machines. I think I fixed the minibus. Do I fix the minibus here? If I go into my my blueprints. Yes. We'll see here. Just a moment. I'm just resupplying here. Oh yeah, I wanted to say I said I wanted to set up my my pipes there. Okay. So yeah, I think I'll go grab the minibus blueprint here. The steel smelting column. Okay, yeah, I am gonna fix the minibus here. Okay, there it is. Yeah, that's the updated bus. Yep. What it is, it's the green circuits in the iron gear wheels from the bottom there loop around to the top, all the way on the right side of the minibus. Because the top part of the bus, those couple of items use a lot of those items, and I figured that if we just loop it around for the assembly machine 2s, that it would help split up the production of the two different assembly machines. Okay. It is coming up to an hour here. I think I was looking at the time and I was looking at the stream settings. Yeah, okay. So yeah, right now that science is feeding the iron gears. I didn't want to cut that, so I decided to loop it around and underground it so I can continue looping it like I want it to. And then I get the pipe production finally up and running here as well, since I was here. Regular pipes is 4 stack, and underground pipes is 2. That's my standard, is 4 to 2. If I ever need more than that, I always just go back to the minibus and get it. We had a couple of red biters come into the base here, so I go fix that and add another turret here. It's a little too close to home. Okay. I think this one I get the inserters online as well. At least the underground. Oh, not the underground inserter. That doesn't make sense. The regular inserter, the long-handed red inserter, and the fast inserter. So I saw this little trick, neat trick a while back, where instead of throwing the regular inserters onto the minibus itself, or creating 2 assembly machines making regular inserter, I saw the little trick of the underground belt here from the regular inserters to the blue inserters. So I used that. Something different. Alright, so that completes the mini bus. I was just doing a couple of checks here. I noticed that long-headed inserters needed the regular inserters as well, so I just went ahead and placed that. It was supposed to go where that power pole is, but right now we don't have access to the medium power poles, so we'll just leave it at that for now. And I decided to make that one a fast inserter. Okay. So I go ahead and grab some supplies here. I think I checked science again. No, I don't. Okay. Eventually I'm going to move the grenade production. The electrical energy distribution one is what we need for the medium and long-handed, or the medium power poles and the large power poles. And then the advanced material processing is what we need for steel furnaces. So, kind of just have to wait for bullet damage 2 to be done. So right now I was pretty much just walking around waiting. I think I was heading out of the base again, so I decided to do a spoofing up of science because I was going to be away for a little bit. Okay, and I noticed that the coal lines were pretty healthy. Kind of, sort of. But here we go. We're gonna venture off back to Iron Outpost 1, and I believe we're gonna set up all the belts and the good ends here. Okay. We'll go ahead and place these miners, and something was making my computer jump, so that's why those couple miners I placed wrong. Again, it happened again. It was I think a combination of the live stream. I did have Discord open as well. Every time I have Discord open, it slows everything down. That's why I don't use it that often. I guess I should use it more often. It's the only way I'm gonna meet, get exposure and so forth. Okay, so we're just placing these down. Making sure we get full coverage there. Again here, we're just going to make sure we get full coverage. Alright. And this is when I started thinking about power too. Is the power going to hold up with all this? So I believe I go back and I set up another line of power. Oh yeah, and I was talking about how the biters love this radar. So I was going to go ahead and set up some extra defense here. Okay. And then the power poles. Since we don't have the medium power poles yet, so I had to use the basic wooden power poles, which is okay. We'll go ahead and fix it all at a later time. Just wanted to get this iron outpost up and running. So we just place these power poles here and place some lights so we can see when the power's on, that is. I wasn't sure if the that last column there got power, so I put an extra line there. Okay. I think this is when we start heading back to base. Yep. First, I wanted to make sure the south was protected. And I was explaining how the biters were creeping in last time from this little gap here. So we go ahead and place some turrets down. I also noticed I didn't have that much ammo on me, so yep. Okay. One last check of iron outpost 1. And then we head back to base. All right. Notice that this copper miner is out, so I picked that up. And I noticed that copper is a little low, so I think I put a line of, yes, I put another line of copper mining in here. I don't know if I do it to both sides. Do hook it up. I'm not sure. I think I just leave it on the right side there for now. To add some lights though to make sure we can see. Yep. I was talking about the wall setup. I wanted to get that wall up and running sooner than later, much sooner than last time. And I was talking about the where I was going to place the ammo array and how I was going to split it up and have then one side go north and one side go south. Yep. And how I had to capture all this area to make sure that I was safe from the biters. Okay. I was also mentioning why I don't understand why I saved all this, because the iron ore wasn't going to come back to the base like I had it set up previously. I'm going to go ahead and just resupply here. And check science. Like I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and split up the content of the live stream. The first part is just about wrapped up here. It's coming up to the part where I realized that the mic was off. So with my actual content, I will let part 2 pick up from that point. But right now I want to go ahead and wrap this up here. I want to thank you guys again so much for joining me in this episode of Death World, Factorio Death World. Yeah, I'll bite you. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Again, thank you for joining me in this episode of Factorio. And like always, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.